the start he had in Tampa at the end of the road trip and how it was make or break.
Yeah.
And he's incredibly honest and vulnerable. And that's the Edmonton goaltending situation. Both men in the crosshairs. Stuart Skinner, obviously, with a huge shutout this afternoon.
Yes.
And the Oilers at 27 points. So I don't know if this is before. Is there still panic in Edmonton about Stuart?
More bad news for Oilers after latest goalie rumors. Goalie rumors grew fast after fresh numbers, and game results showed more problems in the net. These updates landed only hours apart, adding more pressure to a team already facing questions about its season. The news spread across the league, leading to more talk about possible goalie moves. Recent reports stated that the Edmonton Oilers are checking the goalie market. This information came from a league rumor report that linked the team to active discussions about a possible change in net. The report showed that the Oilers were looking at options outside the team. It also noted that this search had been ongoing for several days. New data added more detail. One of the goalies connected to Edmonton through these reports was Tristan Jarry of the Pittsburgh Penguins. His season record listed 8 wins, 2 losses, and a 2.57 goals against average. He also had a .911 save percentage and 1 shutout. These figures were confirmed in the report and were noted as part of why teams had interest in him. More facts came from other sources. A league update listed the numbers of Edmonton goalie Stuart Skinner. In 27 games, he held a .876 save percentage and a 3.48 goals against average. These numbers were printed in the report and used to show why the Oilers were being linked to the goalie market. Another data point came from a recent game result. Skinner allowed 4 goals on 8 shots in the first period of a loss. This detail came from a game recap and was used by several reports that later repeated the information. It became one of the main reasons listed for the growing goalie rumors around the team. The Oilers were also linked to another goalie, Jordan Binnington. His reported numbers included a 3.20 goals against average and a .878 save percentage. These numbers were referenced in discussions about possible trade targets. The report said that his performance this season raised questions about whether he could help a new team. One insider reported that the Oilers did not plan to trade Stuart Skinner at this time. The exact wording was, "The Oilers are not interested in a lateral move." This line was part of a statement blocking rumors that the team wanted to move Skinner soon. The update stated the team did not want to make a trade that did not create a clear upgrade. Another report noted a positive game for Skinner. In a matchup against the Seattle Kraken, he stopped 26 shots and earned a shutout. This data point came from an official game summary. It was later added to several reports that tried to show the up-and-down results inside Edmonton's net this season. Still, the talk of change did not slow down. Analysts stated that the Oilers' goaltending results had been inconsistent. They pointed to the data from the season, the multiple losses, and the goals against average across the roster. These notes became part of larger discussions about what Edmonton might do next. Trade proposal articles also appeared. One report created hypothetical deals showing how the Oilers could land Jarry while moving Skinner. These deals were labeled as projected scenarios and not real offers. The report only used team cap numbers, player contracts, and performance stats to build the ideas. Another article said that pressure was increasing on the Oilers' goalie position. It listed that each game with high goals against added more talk around the team. The article noted that Edmonton's schedule had included strong opponents, which added more strain to the roster. League analysts pointed out that goalie trades in the NHL are often complex. They stated that teams needed clear cap space, roster space, and strong return value to make them happen. These facts were part of a broader review of how goalie trades work in the league. More reports said that Edmonton continued to run with its current pair of goalies. There were no signings and no confirmed trade talks. The team's games continued under the same setup, and the data kept showing mixed results. Insiders also listed that any real goalie trade would likely come after a series of games, not during a short stretch. They noted that teams often wait for consistent evidence before making major roster changes. This information was part of several articles reviewing recent NHL trade patterns. The numbers from both goalies connected to Edmonton, Skinner, Jarry, and Binnington, continued to appear in new reports. Each report repeated the same data: save percentage, goals against average, and game-to-game results. All the updates referenced official league stats. The data in these reports formed the full picture of the Oilers' current situation: rising goals against numbers, new trade links, strong games mixed with difficult ones, and no confirmed deals yet. The information came from game summaries, insider updates, rumor reports, and official NHL stats.
Pierre LeBrun and Darren Dreger, usually guys, it takes a month or two before we get into the trade rumors of good players on struggling teams coveted by other teams, but we're well underway already with Nazem Kadri and the Calgary Flames.
Something big is happening between Montreal and Calgary. As the Flames spiral down the standings, a shocking name has quietly shaken the trade market. Behind the scenes, whispers of a potential move to the Canadiens are growing louder. But what's really happening right now has insiders stunned, because Montreal may be closer to landing a star center than anyone expected.
First thing I'd tell you is the Habs, O-Dog, my understanding is, listen, they've gone through the entire league in their preparations internally and have a list of what centers could potentially pop up between now and next season, and obviously ahead of the March 6th trade deadline this year. You name a name, and it's come up internally with the Montreal Canadiens. And yes, Nazem Kadri is one of those names. I think the Habs would have interest in him.
Nazem Kadri's name has become one of the most active in NHL trade circle. The Calgary Flames sit at 2-8 and 1-11 game, their worst start in years. Kadri leads the team with 8 points in those contests and is now just 4 games away from reaching the 1,000 game milestone in his NHL career. Despite his performance, the growing instability inside Calgary has sparked league-wide trade speculation. According to multiple reports, the Montreal Canadiens are one of several teams exploring center options. TSN insiders Pierre LeBrun and Darren Dreger confirmed that Montreal continues to search for a true second-line center to strengthen their roster. LeBrun noted that if Calgary ever decides to move Kadri, the Canadiens would be a logical fit. However, both analysts emphasized that the Flames are nowhere close to making that decision. Kadri's contract remains a significant fact. He is signed through 2029 with a $7 million cap hit. Originally protected by a full no-move clause, his deal has now shifted to a 13-team no-trade list, meaning Montreal could technically pursue him if they are not on that list. That adjustment alone has created a surge of interest, as it gives general manager Kent Hughes new room to maneuver. Still, there are clear limits to how far the Canadiens are willing to go. Frank Saravalli stated on Bleacher Report's Insider Note that Montreal's top 2024 first-round pick, Michael Hague, is completely off the table. When asked about the possibility of including Hague in a Kadri trade, Saravalli replied directly, "No, it's not." He described Hague's early NCAA season at Michigan as pretty special so far, adding that Montreal have to be thrilled with yet another interesting prospect in their pipeline. But the tension continues to build. Calgary's early slump and internal struggles are drawing league attention. Montreal's need for a proven center only fuels the speculation further, and as the Flames face mounting pressure to fix their season, observers can't help but wonder, could Kadri's 1,000th game be one of his last in a Flames jersey? The next few weeks could decide whether Nazem Kadri stays in Calgary or joins Montreal. League insiders say Flames GM Craig Conroy is under pressure as the team sits 2-8 and 1, their patience running out. Kadri leads the roster in scoring and is just 4 games from his 1,000th NHL appearance, yet his name dominates trade discussion. Montreal's GM Kent Hughes continues searching for a proven second-line center behind Nick Suzuki. Players like Christian Dvorak and Jake Evans haven't provided consistent offense, making Kadri a logical fit. His $7 million cap hit through 2029 complicates talk, and any deal would likely need Calgary to retain salary or take contracts back. Still, Montreal's cap flexibility after moving Carey Price's contract to long-term injured reserve keeps them in position to act. TSN's Pierre LeBrun reports the Flames aren't close to trading Kadri, but Montreal has done its homework, monitoring his leadership and playoff experience. Head coach Martin St. Louis values that intensity. Insiders say Hughes won't sacrifice the rebuild for short-term gain, giving Montreal leverage as Calgary's slump deepens. Kadri's looming 1,000th game adds tension. It could come in a new uniform if talks advance. For now, both clubs wait, and every Calgary loss makes a move feel closer.
If you're a Habs fan, then rookie rookie Ivan Demidov needs no introduction. The Montreal Canadiens announced the signing of the 19-year-old Russian forward to the utter jubilation of fans.
The 19-year-old Russian player's flight was the most tracked in the world.
Something shocking is happening in Montreal. 19-year-old Ivan Demidov is racing past every other rookie in the league. His early performance has already pushed him to the top of the Calder Trophy watch list. Analysts call his rise remarkable. The data says it's real. This is the crazy reason why Ivan Demidov might win the Calder Trophy. 3 times in NHL history, a team has won the Calder Trophy in consecutive seasons. The last occurrence happened in 1968 when the Boston Bruins accomplished this feat. The Montreal Canadiens now sit in position to become the 4th franchise to achieve this milestone. Lane Hutson won the award in 2025. Ivan Demidov leads all rookies in scoring through October 2025.
Folks, we have a Calder Trophy race. Ivan Demidov is right back in it. 9 points in 10 games to start the season.
Ivan Demidov has 9 points through his first 10 NHL games in the 2025-26 season. He has scored 2 goals and recorded 7 assists. This places him first among all rookies in scoring. Demidov became the first Canadiens rookie to score 9 points in his first 10 games since Stephen Lebeau in 1989-1990. On October 25, 2025, Demidov recorded his first 3-point game in the NHL. He scored 1 goal and added 2 assists in a 4-3 victory over the Vancouver Canucks. Montreal Canadiens captain Nick Suzuki commented on Demidov's play. "He's a great player on the power play," Suzuki said. "His poise and vision, he's always finding play, finding seams. He's got a good shot, and he's probably run every single power play he's ever been on, so he's got a lot of reps on those." Head coach Martin St. Louis moved Demidov to the first power play unit before the game against Vancouver. St. Louis explained his decision. "I've known all along that Demi can play on the first power play," St. Louis said. "I got to a certain point with Demi where I felt like he had showed me that he's willing to play on the other side of the game, the defensive game, and he's bought in, and he's actually very attentive and trying to keep getting better." The Canadiens' power play statistics improved after adding Demidov to the first unit. Without Demidov on the first power play unit, Montreal averaged 93 shots per 60 minutes. With Demidov, the team produces 125 shots per 60 minutes. This represents a 34% increase in shot production. High danger scoring chances also increase. Without Demidov, the Canadiens generated 22 high danger shots per 60 minutes on the power play. With Demidov, they produce 36 high quality chances per 60 minutes. This equals a 63% increase in dangerous scoring opportunities. Demidov currently plays 13 minutes and 47 seconds per game on average. He skates on a line with Alex Newhook and Oliver Kapanen at 5-on-5. NHL conducted a preseason poll for the 2025-26 Calder Trophy race. 15 voters participated in the poll. Demidov received 74 voting points. He earned 14 first-place votes. Matthew Schaefer of the New York Islanders finished second with 39 points. Jimmy Snuggerud of the St. Louis Blues placed third with 19 points. During the 2024 NHL Scouting Combine, Demidov answered a question about which player he most resembled. "I think it's a combination of Kirill Kaprizov and Jack Hughes," Demidov told Montreal Canadiens manager. Matthew Schaefer was selected first overall by the New York Islanders in the 2025 NHL Draft. He turned 18 years old on September 5, 2025. He became the youngest defenseman in NHL history to score a game-winning goal at 18 years and 46 days old. He extended his career-opening point streak to 6 games. Schaefer recorded his first multi-point game during this stretch. Jimmy Snuggerud was selected 23rd overall by the St. Louis Blues in the 2022 NHL Draft. He scored 51 points in 40 games during his final season at the University of Minnesota. He recorded 4 points in 7 regular season games for the Blues at the end of the 2024-2025 season. He added 4 points in 7 playoff games. Demidov averages 2.7 shot attempts per game and 0.9 shots on goal per game through the first 10 games of the season. He maintains a +3 rating. Demidov uses a wide skating stance referred to as 10-2 positioning. This technique allows him to move east-west across the ice with speed. Elite Prospects 2024 NHL Draft Guide described Demidov's skill set. The guide stated, "Every move serves a purpose, whether improving the quality of his look as a shooter or creating openings in the defense that he can exploit as a distributor." Dan Milstein serves as Demidov's agent through Gold Star Hockey. Milstein discussed Demidov's mental approach to the season. He deleted all social media from his phone and completely disconnected from the media. Milstein said, "Ivan focuses only on hockey and family. His personal stats don't really matter to him." The Montreal Canadiens hold an 8-3-0 record through October 28, 2025. They sit in first place in the Atlantic Division. Nick Suzuki has 13 points during a 9-game point streak. This represents the longest point streak in the NHL for the 2025-26 season. The Canadiens have 3 third-period comeback wins this season. This total leads the NHL. Montreal went 2 for 3 on the power play in their victory over Vancouver on October 25, 2025. The Toronto Maple Leafs have won the Calder Trophy 10 times. This represents the most wins by any franchise. The Chicago Blackhawks rank second with 9 Calder Trophy winners. 10 defensemen have won the Calder Trophy since 1980.
Demidov avoided the check. Demidov. Look out, gave it away right on the tape of Pinto. And I think a cross-checking call behind the play.
I think it's going to be a slash.
A slash, sorry. And it's going against Ottawa. And Nick Cousins can't believe it. And he'll go for 2 or less.
This has been a parade to the box for Nick Cousins, unfortunately. He's going to take a little slash of Demidov into the hand here. So here's the turnover right here, the middle of the ice. And then there's a chop right on the wrist of Demidov.
A rookie star's night ended in pain. Ivan Demidov, slashed down by Nick Cousins, left the ice holding his wrist. The hit didn't just stop the play, it started something bigger. Nick Cousins delivered a 2-handed slash right across Demidov's wrist. The Canadiens rookie tried to skate off, but the pain forced him out. He was removed from the game. Before the hit, Demidov was having a strong night. He had already collected 2 assists in the game. He pushed the play against Ottawa's defense and kept creating scoring chances. His skating and passing showed why fans are so excited about him. But after the slash, his night ended early. Head coach Martin St. Louis was asked for an update right after the game. He said, "Not right now. He's still being evaluated, so not right now." That was the official word from the Canadiens bench. The team called the move by Cousins unnecessary. St. Louis added, "There's no need for that. It's an exhibition game. I don't think there's any need for that in the game." Nick Cousins delivered the chop late in the game. This was after a string of rough moments between the two teams. Reports suggest Cousins may have been retaliating after Arbor Shekaj of Montreal had been ejected earlier. Fans were quick to react. Online, they described the slash as cowardly. Analysts said the Department of Player Safety is likely to review the play. That means Cousins could face discipline before the regular season begins. Ivan Demidov's health became the biggest focus of the night. Reports later confirmed he avoided serious injury. Elliot Friedman shared on X, "Don't believe there's any long-term injury concern for Demidov after the slash he took last night." This was seen as good news for Montreal, especially with the season opener scheduled for October 8th against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Canadiens have already decided to be cautious. Demidov may sit out the next preseason game. This is to give him time to rest and recover. Alexandre Carrier also stated that none of the Canadiens players had serious injuries coming out of the game. That includes Demidov. Even with the incident, the Canadiens won the game 5-0. The score was one-sided, but the conversation after the final horn centered only on Demidov's injury. Before leaving, Demidov had shown the skill that made him a top draft pick. He helped set up goals. He pressured defenders. He drew coverage every time he carried the puck. His play stood out until the slash ended his night. The Canadiens organization is now focused on 2 things: his health and the league's decision on Cousins. The NHL has not yet released an official statement, but based on past cases, a review by the Department of Player Safety could come within days. The slash happened as Montreal and Ottawa played in Quebec City. The game drew attention because of the rising rivalry between the two clubs. This preseason meeting continued that trend. Demidov's injury scare raises larger questions for the league about how much physical play is allowed in preseason games. Martin St. Louis made his position clear. He stated again that there was no need for that type of slash in an exhibition setting. His words echoed through the post-game press conference. The Canadiens are expected to update Demidov's status as soon as team doctors finish their checks. For now, the official word is precaution. They do not want to risk a setback for one of their most important young players. The Canadiens, despite the slash, showed strength in the rest of the game. They scored 5 unanswered goals. The situation will now move into league offices. The NHL will study the slash and determine if Cousins faces a fine or suspension. The video review will play a role in that outcome. If discipline comes, it will likely be announced before the Senators' next preseason game. For Montreal, all eyes remain on Demidov. His arrival in the NHL has been highly anticipated. He has been labeled as one of the top prospects of his draft class. In his short time with the Canadiens, he has already impressed fans and coaches. That is why the slash drew so much attention. It was not just about one player getting hit, it was about the future of the franchise taking a dangerous shot in a preseason setting. Elliotte Friedman's update eased some fears. His words were direct. No long-term injury concern. That statement provided the most clarity yet. It pointed to Demidov returning soon, perhaps in time for the season opener. Still, the Canadiens are not rushing. They are expected to sit him at least one game to make sure he is fully ready. The rivalry between Montreal and Ottawa has often included physical clashes. This